My wonderful, beautiful, amazing Capricorns. I'm Gabriella from Gabriella's Vampire Tarot. For today, I'm going to be doing your general reading, your past, present, future, your 9 card spread. But this week, I decided to show face again, so every so often, I'm just going to change the way I do my readings. But this week, I just kind of wanted to show you face to face on doing this week's reading. So I'm going to be using the regular tarot deck, clarify with the vampire deck, draw a special vampire card, draw a vampire oracle, and then draw 3 yes or no answers for the. So let's get started on your reading. Okay, the general card is the King of Swords upright. So let's look at the first row, which is also your past. Ace of Pentacles. Wow. 10 of Swords. And 10 of Wands reversed. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of getting like a blessing in disguise, kind of like silver lining, theme from the past here. Because this is a wonderful, beautiful job offering an opportunity that pretty much was probably some kind of painful ending. But yet somehow in the long run, it pretty much was also a blessing in disguise where it also helped you pretty much just kind of release yourself from all kinds of burdens and heaviness and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, whatever offering, it's like a lot of humans, they tend to be kind of, overjoyed on so many ways and stuff like that. But other people, they tend to be kind of, a bit, skeptical about the whole offering and suspicious and thing. I'm not so sure if I really want to deal with this painful ending of some kind. I mean, painful ending, what does that define? The thing is, it's like, what I'm mostly getting here is let's say that you're a college graduate, if that makes anything or means anything to you. But let's say, okay, you're a college graduate and you just got this big beautiful job offering, but the painful ending is that you had to say goodbye to your college friends, your mates, your fellow peers and stuff like that, because you probably have to relocate or maybe change venues or whatever it is and stuff like that. But then you realize that it was actually for the best, because even though you might have to relocate, you could still communicate with those technology devices that the human was explaining to me about, but I have no idea half the time what he's even talking about, and it's pretty much just a bit too new for me. I just don't know if I really want to even have anything to do with these technology things all that much. But I am glad that there was some kind of release of some kind of heaviness for that matter. Yeah. Now in current times you do get the 9 of Wands of having to let go of something. Then you get Judgment upright. I mean, no, sorry about that. Judgment reversed. And then you get Chariot upright. What I'm kind of getting here is, yeah, you're kind of getting like second thoughts about something. I'm kind of getting like really the theme buyer's remorse or some kind of like, yeah, you're kind of having a bit of hesitancy because with the Judgment reverse, it's kind of like having, your head is in the clouds. You feel kind of directionless. You have no, reason to actually even know what's taking place. I mean, yes, it's like it's looked incredibly beautiful, but yet, maybe you shut off your old self too quickly, and that is pretty much putting you in a bit of an uncertain position and stuff like that in current times. But yet somehow you do have this sense of energy of wanting to actually get out, because the general card is indeed the King of Swords. Of course, you can have Aquarius, Libra, Gemini placements in your star chart. But somehow, it's like you actually have this realistic side where you actually realize to say, okay, it's like sometimes, these situations happen for a reason. And if I, actually let go of something and yet, will something, cause me to kind of, will second, will rethink this whole options and opportunities for that matter. I do get this feeling that you are highly motivated about something. Okay. Because in the future, whoops, you get Death. One of the cards I pulled for the vampire. Oh my goodness. So this is like some kind of rebirthing as well. Then you get the World upright. I'm not allowed to show that, but yet you feel kind of somehow imbalanced with Justice reversed, also known as Libra energy. Yeah, the thing is, any kind of rebirthing or transition for that matter can come across as being, a bit uncertain. I mean, a few times, for especially for the Capricorn readings, I've been getting vampire vibes. I've been getting like transition kind of vibes, like rebirthings, transitions, and stuff like that. I mean, the thing is when you're actually having this rejuvenating moment, you're actually heading out into this new beginning, this rebirthing phase. Yes, you are heading out into this world, which is a fixed card of Leos, Aquarius, Scorpios, and Tauruses, and stuff like that. It could make you still feel a bit imbalanced because, it's like when it's only a human feeling, when you're about to embark on something, when you're even, wearing your uniform for any kind of position for the first time, that it could still cause you to, lack faith and, cause a lot of self-doubt within you, even though you were there 100% full, in your uniform, your outfit, whatever it is that you pretty much have to wear or are required to wear for your job and stuff like that. But yet somehow you look at yourself in a mirror and you start questioning yourself. It's only just a human nature and feeling to actually have those moments sometimes, but we're going to have to do some clarification for that. But that's kind of what I'm getting here, is that, this new beginning is causing you to feel a bit imbalanced. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, I'm getting something. You get the Five of Pentacles, and that's kind of like either a, poverty kind of card or being left out in the cold kind of card as well. Yeah, this offering, I mean, what I'm kind of getting here is I'm wondering if it's kind of like a buyer's remorse, kind of fool's errand kind of offering that took place. Because somehow, it's like you want to kind of let go. It's kind of some kind of painful ending. I mean, yeah, I mean, I hope it wasn't like you were forced to resign or got fired somehow or something, took place, where it caused you to actually just end up in a real poverty kind of situation as well. But it could have also been that this offering could have taken care of your poverty problems as well. But yeah, I'm just wondering, I'm just kind of getting the theme hoodwinked or being deceived somehow. But we haven't come across the Seven of Swords yet, and hopefully not at all. But yeah, I'm wondering about that. Ten of Swords, painful ending, but yet you get the Prince of Scepters, the Knight of Wands. Okay, I see you actually overcoming poverty. That's kind of what I'm mostly getting here, because this is actually leaving this painful ending and just saying, okay, I'll say goodbye to this Five of Pentacles situation. I wonder if you could have still, been, misled somehow, or been, sent off on, some kind of, a wild chase that you had no idea which way you were supposed to go or how you were supposed to go about it, because the Five of Pentacles is definitely a real negative card. But here you're pretty much just also saying goodbye to, the big bad wolf and the Ten of Swords for that matter as well. And because for the Ten of Wands reverse, you get Four of Swords. So you're releasing yourself of heaviness, burdens, and hard work, and you're pretty much resting up. You know what I see you doing is maybe, let's say that you were misled, you were, deceived somehow, you were being promised this very beautiful career, but then it just turned into a real big nightmare situation, though we haven't come across the Nine of Swords yet. But Five of Pentacles is still quite a negative card to really, bring one down in their spirits and in their life for that matter as well. But here, I see you actually, turning around your fate of thinking, okay, I'm not going to allow this, to start, ruining my life, okay? The thing is he'll rest up as much as possible and be self-loving, self-caring, but especially self-forgiving, in the sense that if you didn't quite read the fine print, or you didn't answer, or ask, like all of the questions that were needed and stuff like that. But I do see you actually turning around your current situation, or at least your past situation, and just saying, I'm just gonna let go of it all for a bit and just take a break. Because for the Nine of Wands reversed, you get Three of Cups. So technically this is a celebratory occasion that's taking place. But if you look at this way, this card, as you see these two vampiresses, they have their arms around this vampire. It could also be some kind of support system. So maybe, it's like you do get support from your spouse, your loved one, your companion, your family, your fledglings, for all I know. Because, it's like maybe you did have to let go of something, but yet it was either it resulted in this big, euphoric moment of this grand celebratory acknowledgement for that matter, but it could have also been that you let go of something and that other people more or less just kind of came to your metaphorical rescue in other ways and it will to support you. Because for Judgment reversed, yeah, I'm not allowed to show both cards. You get 5 of Grails. Yeah, I'm just sensing that you're kind of going through a bit of a negative patch right now, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be for the worst in any way. But yeah, it's like I can sense that you are probably suffering from some kind of disappointment because of this whole past incident. It's like I can understand. It's like, and that's why when I mentioned vampire vibes, I'm getting similar vibes with my own past as well. Why? Because, it's like when I allowed that vampire without realizing that he was a vampire inside my tarot shop as being this young, naive girl for that matter. What I'm actually getting here, I mean, I never really got any kind of support at all. I had to be my own personal support in so many ways. But yeah, it's like I also had so many moments where I just felt like there was judgment was reversed. There was no judgment for even the vampire. There was no clarity. It was all just doom and gloom, including disappointment and disparity, especially when I was slumbering in that mucky, dirty, just box for that matter. When I was just practically suffering with my own being left out in the cold by the 5 of Pentacles kind of situation. I mean, but what are vampires also known for? For shape-shifting. So maybe, the vampire could definitely shape-shift into the big bad wolf and turn my fate into a 5 of Pentacles. Because, I was homeless and I had no money and stuff like that as well. So, I know that combination also will. But yet, here's another major turnaround. Motivation and ambition. And the 4 of Wands. Happy home, happy hearth, happy family. So I'm mostly getting here that you probably have a really good support system. Friends, family combined. But this is also an act of confidence within yourself of saying happy home, happy hearth, happy family within my own flesh and blood as well. And that's what I'm getting as well. Because, it's like maybe you do have to kind of rest up as much as possible. But yet, you do have this determination, this really good, logical, active strategy of knowing exactly which way you're going to be heading towards and stuff like that. So because soon you do get this kind of like rebirthing taking place in the future afterwards. So this is you actually having the confidence to actually, to board all this beautiful opportunity because you did already release some kind of negativity and stuff like that. But yet I see so much confidence being rebuilt for you in current times. Because for the Death upright, Daughter of Swords, fabulous. You're having this rebirthing moment and you have the time and energy to get out and to really start, redoing it all. I mean, the thing is it's not about going back to square one and saying, okay, I'm just going to redo it all. No, it's pretty much just heading off, towards the moment that just didn't work out, and that's where you're going to be correcting it. It's like, hypothetically, metaphorically speaking, if your car broke down, yes, it's like you don't have to walk all the way back to square one, your house, your garage, your home area, and then walk back to the car and then try to figure out what went wrong. No, you go back to the moment it just didn't work out and then you try to fix that. You don't have to retreat at all. You just go back to, the moment it wasn't working out for you. And this is where you're pretty much patching up, that metaphorically, broken down car, so you can actually have this outgoingness to redo it and just kind of correct it in other ways as well. Love it. Because you're heading out into this world and you get the Hierophant, a committed card. Fabulous. And because you are incredibly determined and motivated, to actually experience this rebirthing moment that's taking place in current times for that matter, and you're pretty much just heading out into this world with confidence because you already rebuilt yourself with the Chariot and the 4 of Wands. You're getting out and you're incredibly committed towards something. And what are you committed towards? Your dreams, your desires, your needs, your hungers, your thirsts, and your wishes, and your goals and endeavors for that matter. And that's kind of what I'm getting here. I'm just not surprised. I am beyond impressed, but I'm never surprised because you guys are grounded, logical, realistic earth signs. And even though, it's like this is a Taurus card, you could also have Taurus placements. You could have friends and family who are Tauruses and stuff like that. But I see you incredibly dedicated and committed and motivated. Because even though you might feel a bit imbalanced and still have this certain uncertainty about, oh goodness, will it actually work this time? You get the Sun. the beautiful Leonine sun, the summer sun, you know, in the sense this could be taking place halfway, well, starting in July 23rd towards August, 22nd for that matter. But, you know, it's like, there's going to be, you know, a sense of clarity for you, even though you might just think, well, what if it doesn't work this time? What if, you know, I try to refuel my car and then it still doesn't turn on? Or what if I do this or that and blah, blah, blah? You will know. You will know because the sun is going to be shining for you. You're going to have so much strength and power, and, you know, you're going to have so much confidence within you in the future as well. So deep down inside, you know, this is pretty much, you know, your insecurity side, but here comes your beautiful, strong, grounded, you know, realistic, rational side that pretty much just guarantees everything is just going to work okay. This, you know, please don't give up. You know, that's more or less the crux of today's message. Because your special vampire card is the Hermit. Another, you know, a fellow Earth card. You could also have Virgo placements. But what I would suggest, and like what the Hermit even says, is, you know, kind of go into a bit of introspection mode, do a bit of self-reflection, just look at the whole, you know, sequence of events that took place, and just either A, learn from it, just so you could improve it for the next time, you know, so then when you do end up, you know, having, you know, car problems or something, you'll know how to handle it, or even how to avoid car problems and stuff like that. But this is also just, you know, looking at everything and just kind of analyzing it and just say, okay, what did I learn and how can I improve and how can I apply everything to the future and stuff like that. And you could always be somebody's cautionary tales and make sure that everything ends up successful for them in the future as well. Love it. Because Oracle wants to add knowledge, study, learning, and education, and that's what I see you doing, is you're going to be just educating yourself, you're going to be learning, and you're going to be, well, applying all of your knowledge into the whole sequence of events that took place, and you're pretty much going to be applying all that knowledge to your current and future, you know, settings of whenever and wherever it may take place. Because, you know, it's like sometimes, you know, being somebody's cautionary tale is going to really benefit them. And so my cautionary tale for anybody out there is if you see a very handsome man or woman entering your shop, unless it's me, of course, but of course, or any kind of area, I would just really listen to your senses and intuition and just run out of that place and just not allow yourself to be seduced or, you know, reeled in somehow and end up in a problematic fate like how I experienced it in my past as well. Okay. Well, I'm going to finish off with 3 yes or no answers. Please feel free to pause this video and think about the questions you want answered. For number 1, you do get a no with the Page of Cups reversed. A yes with the 6 of Wands for answer number 2. And a no for number 3 with the Magician reversed. Okay. Well, my beautiful, amazing Capricorns, I'm going to have to leave it at this for now. But if my readings resonated for you today, please feel free to join and subscribe. I love you guys incredibly. In a few days, I'm going back to love readings. So for now, I'm just doing general and love. I do think that every so often I will throw in some Dracula themes and also add a couple of additional videos about more historical facts about some other vampire, you know, historical facts and stuff like that, or even, you know, talk about the history of blood and stuff like that if anybody's ever interested in that kind of stuff. I know it seems a bit macabre and stuff like that, but the history was quite dark on so many, you know, levels and stuff like that. But either way, thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys incredibly and best of luck on this beautiful journey.